TV. For 2K Pro. We have an exclusive with the Portland Trailblazers, CJ McCollum, every morning.
Every Friday morning. I want to clarify that.
We recap the final rounds of the My Park Championship, award the winner of the top play of the month, and of course give you a chance at some VC and 2K TV Interactive.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad to have you with us on 2K Sports. Our featured matchup tonight out in Toronto, where the Raptors will be going up against the Utah Jazz. Well, for Utah, it's been a very successful first half of the season for them. When the opportunity to win a ball game has been there for them, they have grabbed it over and over. And as we take a few moments here, Shaq, the term basketball IQ is constantly thrown around these days. What exactly is meant by that? Because I don't have it.
Ernie, I have
basketball
no
IQ.
idea. You know, you can be smarter than me if you want to. You can be a Rhodes Scholar, but you know what I will do to you. Doesn't necessarily mean you make good decisions on the basketball court. Basketball IQ, that term is overrated.
Maybe
Ernie.
Kenny has an answer to this one.
Well, I think most people, when they first hear about it, they're talking about seeing the floor, having the ability to operate in the flow of the game and understand the time and score relationship. That's what a basketball IQ is. Like not taking seconds on the shot.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
We're in the place they call the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, the home of the Raptors, where we're broadcasting live. It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And back in Toronto following the road trip, it's the Raptors on their home court. This is an important game for them because they've really been struggling. Just one win in their last 5 games.
It's always fun to be at home, Kevin. Home sweet home is what I like to call it, but you know what? They've got a tough visitor in the house tonight, and just because they're at home doesn't mean a win is going to automatically show up on the scoreboard. They've got their work cut out for them against this opponent here.
Yeah, and you know what? This wouldn't necessarily have been the first opponent you'd like to kick off a homestand. So you've got that to contend with, and especially with the way they've been playing here of late. This is going to be a challenge.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. And it's Banks in at the 3 slot. Scola sets a screen for DeRozan. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. DeRozan's got the first points up on the board tonight here for the Raptors. Burke kicks to Gobert. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Utah shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
That's been one of the strongest aspects of this team this season. I mean, there have been very few off nights for them at the free throw line.
And so he makes both from the line. And so here's Toronto. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
Yeah, and listen, you have to take advantage of the freebies. And on that night, they did not, and that is why they just could not recover.
Exactly. I mean, they left too much cheese at the foul line. And in the end, it mattered on the scoreboard and cost them.
Toronto on defense. Burke dishes to Banks. Favors with a screen on Carroll. Banks passes to Burks. Here's Gobert. And the rejection by Valanciunas. And here's the fast break. Carroll leading the way. Here's Scola. Favors with the rebound. The Jazz have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Banks. Offensive rebound. Second chance shot. That will not get it done. He's 0 for 2. The Raptors have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Lowry drawing the double team. Carroll, no one around him. Off target from three-point range.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look. That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
And DeRozan gets to Lowry. Screen by Scola. The three. And again, Toronto no luck.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
Now here's Banks. 23 points for him the last game against the Celtics in Boston.
And equally as impressive, the playmaking. Just sensational. The way he was seeing the court and making the game easy for his teammates.
And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, I briefly spoke with Dwayne Casey. He's been chewing over the best plan of attack against this defense with all that shot blocking inside. He said the big thing is we can't play hero ball. We've got to be unselfish and trust our offense. Kevin, we'll see if they can turn the tables this time around and even the season series. Back to you.
All right, Doris, thanks. Well, guys, they're thinking mainly about how to tackle the defense they're facing.
And that's got to be the focus. It takes a lot of game planning to come up with ways to put points on the board consistently against these guys.
And we know this coach is very comfortable game planning. He'll have a lot of ideas of how to attack this defense today.
Here's Carroll following the basket by Freak. Kicks to DeRozan. Goes to the fadeaway and cans it. DeRozan's got his second basket of the night.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Carroll against Banks. Favors with a screen on Carroll. Favors dishes to Gobert. It's Banks with the drive. That drops. Banks has got 6.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense has given him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Screen by Scola. DeRozan. And that misses. That would have put him up. Utah leading. Banks passes to Burks. Back to Banks. Clock at 6. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Burks' shot is good. Toronto's gone 0 of 3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. Back to Lowry. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to go on Trey Burke.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. I mean, he had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
The Raptors shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Luis Scola. And Kyle Lowry drops them both.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
Burke kicks to Gobert. Passes it to Burks. Outside Banks. Dishes it to Gobert.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
Carroll against Banks, and Carroll gets it to go.
Nice job creating for the easy deuce. And while we have a moment, let's check the stats for DeRozan. He's been a factor for them over the last month. Second in steals, and don't forget top 5 in the league in points per game. He's a premier offensive threat night in and night out.
And, you know, back to your original point, I mean, he's just a tireless worker, plays that hard-nosed on-ball defense. Most guys just can't shake him.
Here's Banks. After Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. 4 on the clock. And it's Exum in the corner. Shoots. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Toronto trailing. Lowry with the ball. 26 points for him last game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
And he also was a table setter in that game, Kevin. Just an amazing job with his passing. Just a joy to watch that one.
Now here's Joseph. There's the triple. Shot's good. Joseph's got his first 3 points of the game.
Don't underestimate him. He can knock that down.
Here's Banks. Nice D from DeRozan.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. I mean, they're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. You earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
Here's Favors. Nice D from Valanciunas.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Now, here's Lowry. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, in the second half of the season, we've seen some fantastic performances from this group. The highest scoring shooting guard since the All-Star break. DeMar DeRozan on top.
And it's his explosiveness that jumps right out at you. I mean, he exploits gaps in the defense better than any player in the league. If there's an opening, he'll find it.
Yeah, and you need that kind of burst from the off-guard position, and boy, does he ever give it to him. I mean, he's a constant threat and a potent weapon.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas, and Terrence Ross is subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Favors can't get it to go. Toronto leading by 3. Now DeRozan. 35 points for him last game against Cleveland.
And Kevin, a remarkable night for him passing the basketball as well. He did a great job racking up the assists. Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Favors with a screen on DeRozan. Can they get it? And stolen by Patterson. Joseph with the ball. Now defended by Hayward. Here's Joseph. 11 points for him in that last game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. DeRozan's shot is good.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Now here's Banks. Pass to Exum. Hayward on the wing. Wide open look. And that comes off the assist by Exum.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
So for the Jazz, their last game, a win against the Celtics in Boston.
And how about the accuracy that was on display from three-point range in that game? They were lethal.
Yeah, splashing those threes as they did really allowed them to continuously deflate that crowd and keep them at bay. Boy, that was a nice road win for them, no doubt.
How good is that? I mean, he can make a defender look foolish at times.
DeRozan against Banks. Shot left block.